The Dragon of Time, Gods and Dragons, by Aaron Dennis. The Tiamutish people froze on the spot and peered at the riders before, hollering and scattering. By the time Scar and his riders were amidst the rudimentary settlement, they were greeted by angry warriors carrying javelins and long, oval wooden shields. Bright green patterns graced chocolate skin, and burning eyes glared over flared nostrils and bare teeth. Some of them had daggers and axes carved of bone laced up in their leather belt.
"Peace, Tiamutish explorers," Poland begged as he slowed. "Where is Nagawa? We have ridden long to meet with him." The formation of Tiamutish warriors did not relax, and uneasy glances passed between Scar's troops. "You ambush us, and then demand an audience with our leader?" a tall, sinewy woman asked. "Who are you people?" "Easy," Scar said, raising an open palm. "Where is Captain Sulas?" "He has not been here? Nagawa should have mentioned our arrival." "You are the explorers, no?" The woman, clad in leather bustier and short skirt, looked back to her squadron before returning her steely leer onto Scar. "I do not know what you speak. Who are you, and what are you doing here?" The Tiamutish people gleamed with sweat in the sunlight. It was not a warm morning, but their battle lust had their hearts pumping. Scar raised an eyebrow in wonder before turning to Poland. Poland vacillated. "I am Poland, strategist to King Gilgamesh of Citron, and I ride with Brant, king of Alduheim." "You are mad, man," the woman hollered. She pointed her javelin at Scar. "This one you think is King Alduheim. There are no people there. You have ridden under the sun too long. Go back to your country." "I don't think they know anything about us," Scar commented. Poland replied by giving him a look, indicating he was exerting the last ounce of his patience. "Are you with Nagawa or not?" the old man demanded of the explorers. "What difference is it? Go or face our wrath," the woman declared. "I thought your people were calm and neutral in the matters of war," Scar said sarcastically. "Peace, king," Marlane said, and rode beyond him in Poland. "I am Marlane, a scholar from Kloskius. What has all of you on edge? We are not here to fight, obviously." "I don't know you," the woman scowled, "and we are none of us calm when a contingent of foreign riders sneak upon us." "Damn it, woman!" Scar intervened and hopped off his horse. The Tiamutish warrior tensed and pulled back to throw her weapon. "I am Brant, and have ridden from Tironis to seek counsel with Nagawa. Now, for the last time, is he here?" "I am here," a man who was inconspicuously leaning against a post supporting a shack roof said. All eyes turned to the tall man's profile. He was graced by little green, and the brown leather leggings he wore covered lanky legs. With his arms folded over his chiseled chest, his head down, and one leg bent over the other, he slowly turned to face Scar. Nagawa had a shaved head except for a thin, short strip which ran all the way from the top of his forehead to the base of his skull. "Then please," Poland said, "let us speak civilly." The Tiamutish man looked to his people and gave a nearly imperceptible nod. They all relaxed at once. Then he slowly approached Scar and took a long breath, letting his black eyes meet the mercenaries. "If I do not like what you have to say, you will take your soldiers and go," Nagawa warned with a surprisingly calm demeanor. "Otherwise, you face the anger of a scorned people." "I hear you," Scar answered. "Let me start by saying that we are only here under the friendliest of intentions." "Yet you ride with fearsome warriors," Nagawa interrupted. "You look like special forces to me." "You can say that if you wish, and you would not be wrong," Scar admitted. "But I can only give you my word that we are not here to fight with you. I was under the impression that Captain Sulas had already met with you." "I do not know this man." "Has no one from Citron arrived before us?" "No." Scar blinked. He was taken aback and wondered what issues may have arisen. "We could not have possibly arrived here first, if Labalos set out before me and took a direct route from Tironis." He stared at Nagawa. The man appeared genuine. Then I apologize for seemingly blindsiding you." He looked to Poland for assistance and was wondering how much of their mission to divulge. Poland nodded before laboriously dismounting. "Allow me to speak for King Gilgamesh," he said while hobbling nearer. "All right," Nagawa consented. "What say you for your king?" "Word has come to his attention that you have discovered a new passageway into Alduheim." "What of it?" Nagawa interrupted. "We wish to assist in the exploration. No doubt, if we know about your efforts, so do the Cimmerians. And Surely they will attack you, like the Kolshaderans. No, Poland said, slightly insulted. Yes, they have attacked us on more than one occasion. All of you people are bloodthirsty, and we will bear it no longer. Poland stammered. Peace, old man, Scar said. I would know about these attacks. Nagawa gauged the man before him by slowly looking him up and down. He narrowed his eyes and took a step forward. You are king of the dead people. That is what they tell me, Scar answered slowly and despondently. That is what who tells you? The Kolshaderans. Maybe they are lying to you. Now hold on a moment. Lortho started and dismounted. No Kolshadran is a liar. Hold your tongue, Lortho, Scar warned. But just let me handle this. Scar glared at him. Lortho punched his shield and mumbled that no Kolshadran has lied a day in his life. Scar and Nagawa looked at each other again for a long spell. I don't know who I am, but these good people of Kolshadra have taken me in, forgiven me for slaughtering their people when I fought for Zoltek, and have guided me every step of the way in helping me to discern my origins. I remember nothing of my days before 2 months prior. They are not liars, but none of us know anything with certainty. Can you not see we are all here under genuine pretense? You, I believe. Them? Nagawa said, pointing his finger at the riders. I do not like. A wave of offense washed over the troops like a winter's breeze. Twitches of a nose here and a furrowed brow or two there were the indication that egos were ruffled. No one said anything else for a moment. The prolonged silence between Nagawa and Scar was more than discomforting to both forces, but the leaders were peaceable if stern. Well, they are with me, and I promise no bloodshed, Scar finally announced. Now please, tell me of recent events. We are in the dark here. Nagawa nodded in compliance, but spoke slowly as though choosing his words carefully. I will if you can tell me why you want access to our passage underground. I find it unsettling that you even know of it. Scar shook his head in exasperation, saying, Fine. We wish to move into Alderheim and search for hidden knowledge. Brandt, Poland cautioned. Please, Poland. Can you not see they are frightened? Scar answered. Apologies, Nagawa. We are here to explore and hopefully avoid skirmishes with the Camarans. But we were also sent here to aid in driving them back in the event that they tried to move in underground. Personally, I am here because I hope to resolve the issues of my origin once and for all. In the end, if I find that I am in fact the king of Alderheim, my goal is to assist in securing peace across the land. Now, as for who knows about your passage and how, I'm afraid that is beyond me. Nagawa nodded very slowly before looking over Scar's men. He then looked back to the pale warrior. Finally, the Tiamutish leader divulged his reasons for worry. Only months ago, we emerged from one of our caves to find ourselves here, and so we set up this settlement. Soon after, we returned to our exploration and found a curious boulder wedged into a crevice. Using our powers of Tiamat, we molded the rock and created an opening, which led into a neatly crafted corridor. Since then, we have attempted to map the interior of the castle's lowest levels without fighting. We were successful for only a week before a group of warring Kolshadrans drove the Camarans into our camps. We pleaded with them all to leave, but they did not heed our words. And as is our custom, we slay only those who do not yield to peace. Well, it's no wonder the Kolshadrans wanted retribution, Lortho yelled. Perhaps, and truthfully, our attack forced both peoples against us, but that is the way of Tiamat, Nagawa contested. Scar maintained a level head and motioned with his hand for the man to continue. So Nagawa broke his glaring at the Kolshadran to add, between fending off their infrequent raids, we managed to venture deeper and deeper into Alderheim, but found only ever ruin, dust, and bones. Now word of our passage has become known to others, and everyone is trying to force us out. I seek only answers. To what? Nagawa looked away, then motioned for Scar to follow him by tilting his head towards the shack. The king and I will have a meeting, he said to his people. You will treat our guests with respect. He then locked eyes with Scar to warn them all of Tiamutish hospitality. But if the guests show any volatility, you will kill them to the last man. Nagawa opened the shack's door and held it for Scar, who walked inside first. Wooden chairs surrounded a small, round table. The Tiamutish man poured water from a leather canteen into 2 wood cups. After both sat at the table, Nagawa leaned his elbows upon it and placed his chin in the palm of his hands. "There is more," he started. "You no doubt have heard of the paladins." "Certainly," the mercenary said with narrowed eyes. "I killed Lovenhad of Mikosh the Severe, and Captain Sulas, the man I thought would be here, had helped me." "I see. You know. There was a Bakanwan here not long ago, but no Kalshadran by the name of Sulas, and certainly no Kalshadran that did not brandish a weapon." "Bakuanawan?" Scar suddenly exclaimed. "Yes. Said he was fleeing from Kalshadrans and begged to rest a moment. When?" "2 nights ago. He left as mysteriously as he appeared." "What was his name?" "He didn't say. Why?" "There was a Bakuanawan traveling with Captain Sulas. I am sorry I don't have better news about your friend. But anyway, back to the paladins. A week ago we found a movable wall inside the castle, one that raised to reveal an opening into more corridors. Before fully moving into the new area, we met more opposition. On our way to gather our supplies for a stay inside the keep, Camarans were running towards us. We drew our weapons, but they were not attacking. They were in flight for their lives. A paladin had wandered in and cut them down with such ease. These damn paladins claim they fight in the name of the real gods. What if they are right?" Scar's heart skipped a beat. He eyed the dark warrior curiously and nodded slowly. His breathing accelerated with excitement. Scar decided to choose his words carefully. "You think that it's possible, even though you have powers granted by Tiamat?" Relaxing back in his seat, Nagawa asked, "Why not?" Scar's jaw started clenching rhythmically. Nagawa wet his ample lips. Neither said a thing for a moment. They were gauging each other's religious proclivities. Nagawa then returned to his implications. "A dragon can grant powers, I think." His voice then trembled a bit. "I have seen statues of them in the castle and tapestries of men warring against these beasts. In these woven tales there are images of deities, 8 of them." "Why do you tell me?" "Because you are not like the others. I have heard of you, Ghost of Smudge. The one not blessed by any god, and here you are before me, a man who appeared from nowhere, knows not who he is, and yet has found his way to Alduhai." "What do the others think?" "Others?" Nagawa shook his head. "I could not have discussed the tapestry's complex meanings with the others without risking bloodshed. The Tiamat are only peaceful when they are not threatened, and dragons would most certainly seem a threat. And yet, I think Shamar, the oldest woman, suspects something. With age comes wisdom, or so they say." "Who is Shamara?" "My trusted advisor, and my great-aunt. She is cousin to Jagongo." Nagawa then paused for a moment before sipping his water. "Listen, Brad, that paladin, the one killing Camarans, is not actually after them. He is after anyone who is venturing into that newly discovered corridor. We have not been able to make any more headway. He has killed Camarans, Kalshadrans, and Tiamatesh without discrimination." "Why?" Nagawa only shook his head, but then said, "I have heard that you cannot be defeated. If you help us remove this menace, you and your people are more than welcome to help in exploring, and we may yet work side by side, Kalshadrans and Tiamatesh, to seek an end to these wars, but understand that most will never believe that they are fighting in the name of a dragon." Nagawa sighed and closed his eyes. "This is going to be the beginning of a most trying period."